Let's move on to Rashod Bateman here. Big Ten wide receiver of the year, another Biletnikoff finalist last year. Both these guys were only 4-star recruits. They weren't in the top 15 of their class. I don't think Chase was. So just interesting to point out sometimes because I'm in these campus to Canton leagues. I joined a couple this year, and it's funny how fast the 5-star wide receivers go off the board compared to people that actually have production, college, and stuff already.
Was Demas wide receiver 1?
Well, I think Julian Fleming was the first one that came off for this class.
Interesting.
Yeah. But, Rashod Bateman, he's on pace to break every single Minnesota wide receiver record for sure.
He's really good. He's really good.
He's good.
He is. Mel Kiper had him in his mock for 2021, I think going 8 overall. So my boy Mel likes him.
Where did they have Tyler Johnson going last year?
I don't know. Ask Kane.
Oh.
Yeah, why isn't Kane on here? He should be on here.
Yeah, I know. We're watching his boy.
So this is me. This is just such a good route. And Jared, you're going to point out the false step, which I couldn't stop looking at.
I think
so I
it's
won't
me.
talk about it. But
But
what I like here is if you go back to the start, and this is the thing about having the plan. So the corner is already aligned on his inside half. He's already a half a man inside of him, which makes it harder to get to the inside. And when you watch his release, he fakes outside, turns the corner's hips, and that allows for that separation.
yeah.
And those are the little things that matter so much with route running.
I think this is my play, but yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Oh, is it your play?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was mine.
It really doesn't. I mean, it doesn't matter. That's what we're
Sorry,
here for.
man.
It's like, nah, just let him go. Because
He was on a roll.
honestly, Nick,
Who did I do?
I rather have your opinion on wide receivers. I mean, you coached them in college. Like, you're way more fluent at talking wide receiver than I think both of us. So,
No, if you're going to say the same things, man, then we're on the same page.
yeah, but great route here, like Nick said. Damn it, went too far. Turns the cornerback around, sharp cut here on the post, and just extends and catches the ball away from his body. This guy has phenomenal hands. That's something I noticed off the bat. Like, he's always catching the ball with his hands away from his body, and he's making some ridiculous catches. And he runs after the catch pretty well, too. He's a big dude.
He does.
6'2", 210.
Jared, I got to give you a compliment on something real quick. Those little pictures, those little cutouts there at the beginning, not cutout, but with the Nerds logo, those look sharp. It's those little things that make things looking good, man. Good work.
You know I'm nitpicky like that.
Well, we don't need to get into that on the air.
Hey, man, I got to keep you straight.
Got to do something.
See here, I thought he drifted too much on this route. I mean, he starts breaking down at the 20, and he gets all the way up to the 26-yard line. I think he was trying to run a speed cut, kind of like we saw with Chase, and it's just, it's a little sloppy. It's not really his forte from what I saw, these type of out-breaking routes and stuff. A bigger body guy.
It's tough to slow that down.
Yeah.
He's got some stiffer hips. I think that's his biggest issue, is that it's tough for him to lose his momentum and get it back again.
Yeah.
Those hips don't lie.
These are the routes that he excels on. Breaking across the middle. Again, catches the ball away from his body, then he's gone. Breaks a tackle.
I'm going to be really curious to see what his 40 is.
I'm going to put him at a 4.58, 4.55.
No,
See,
faster than that.
I was going to say, I was going to put him in the high 4s.
Yep.
You guys both just shot that down in a hurry. As soon as I said 4.58, I was like, that's wrong.
That's like Tyler Johnson's running a 4.58.
Yeah, it might be 4.5 flat. I don't think he's 4.4.
Anywhere between a 4.45 and a 4.5 flat. That's about where I think he's at.
I think I'm with you, Nick.
Natural
over here.
correction.
Although did Jared win the wide receiver 40 time
Probably.
contest, or was that me?
I won, period. So That's all that
Well, I
matters.
won one of them, either running backs or receivers.
We only
and you
did
won the
running
other
backs and receivers, so
I won Denzel Mims. All right.
you did win one of them. Natural Correction wants to know what college you coach wide receivers at, Nick.
So
Alabama.
I was a student assistant, but I was at let's see, Carthage, Western Kentucky, and then I interned at both Drake and Montana State. So I was always in their rooms and helping out with drills and helping out whenever I could. So it was a pretty cool experience, being a small fish, and but I sponged it up, and I all I'm saying is stuff that I learned from other coaches. So it's pretty cool.
It's hard work, man.
Oh, I mean, you were D1, Jared. You know what it's like in those rooms, and
Yeah, man. It's
the film grind.
this college football. People don't realize how much of a grind it is for the coaches, for players. Like, it's 5:30 a.m. till 8 p.m., dude. Like, go to class, come back. You lift in the morning, or you have a training table. You got to get fixed up if you're hurt. You watch film, you got your meetings, you go to class, you come back, get your lift in the afternoon, if that's your schedule. Some people lift in the morning, go to class again, get your meals in the cafeteria, come back for meetings, practice, meetings. It's crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I played NAIA, which it was a school that while I was there transitioned into Division II. So it was NAIA and then switched partway through my time there. But when you're NAIA, you don't have the NCAA regulations. So instead of 2-a-days, we had 3-a-days.
Ooh.
Damn, dude.
It was awful.
I never had to go through that.
Awful.
So here I thought he did a nice job of punching to the outside on this linebacker, kind of selling like he's going outside. And, of course, this linebacker shouldn't stay with him, but punches here with his right foot, works back inside, gets a hands off of him with his hands. It just makes a good catch.
One thing I noticed that I don't know if we're going to see a play that agrees with it, but I could tell that he was left-handed. Could you guys tell that?
I did not know. I don't know.
I can honestly say that never even crossed me.
I'm weird, man. I just look at so many things. But
I love you, Nick. You have the most unique perspective on so many things. That's what makes it so fun on here. Because I feel like once a week, you say something, I'm like, Nick, I have no idea. Once a week, once an episode.
It's a great contested catch here. Comes back, kind of catches it behind the defender's body. There's going to be a better angle of it from the other, from the end zone view. But you can see his hands kind of reaching back.
Absolutely.
Phenomenal catch. Both of these guys are great in contested catch situations.
And Bateman's what, 6'3", 6'4"?
6'2".
6'2", 210.
That's it? He looks
Can
bigger.
you go back?
He's long. He's real long.
He is.
Can you go back in the original one?
Yep.
He did the same thing here where he doesn't look until he clears this backer, which I like too. The same thing as Chase. So here he's accelerating, gets past there, now looks, which keeps and maintains all of his speed.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a fundamental player. I like that. Look at that quarterback looking off. Aren't you proud of him, Jared?
I am. I like this quarterback.
Is it Tanner Morgan?
Yep.
Yeah, Kuiper. I was reading up on Bateman, and they mentioned Kuiper's pretty high on Morgan too. He thinks he might work his way up in the top 5 or 6 quarterbacks.
I can see that.
There's a group there. Trask, him.
Sluggo.
Oh, from Florida?
We call this route a sluggo.
Yep.
Slant and go.
Slant and go. So does a nice job of selling the slant. I'd like to see him show his head maybe back to the quarterback to sell it more. But obviously he already has him beat. He knows he has him beat. Throws him by him. He's gone.
See ya.
Quarterback puts it right in the spot.
Hepatitis, see you later.
Again,
that's good balls. He overthrew him a little bit here.
Yeah.
You got it.
Great. He has great ball tracking. I noticed that too. And look how he watches the ball into his hands. It's fundamental. Catches the ball away from his body here.
That's what I don't do when I golf. I start to look where it's gonna go instead of
We'll see Saturday.
We'll find out Saturday.
always
Oh, this is
like
me. Here we go. All right. So these next two
Jeez, you're
plays.
screaming. I'm going to
Juiced
edit the
up,
audio
man.
on this.
Hey, look, I'm excited, guys.
Clapping into the mic and everything.
These next two plays, what I want you guys to watch are his feet. It has nothing to do. They're both run plays. He has nothing to do on this play. So We see other guys that kind of like take the plays off at times, or, we'll give like the old college try and, watch his feet on both of these runs. And then it's the third play. So does a little inside out. Same thing, a little inside out.
I don't think I got your third play.
Oh, they weren't cut together.
Oh, okay.
So, no, you're on the right one.
Okay. This is something Grant Caraway talked about when he was on our channel.
Exact same thing that he does on the run. Now, watch him here. Boom, up the field. I love seeing that he's doing the exact same thing on those run plays that he's doing here. And what he does there is he has a post on this route. When we get back to it. Has a post on this route, runs it a little bit skinnier than some others that I've seen, but he sees where the backer and the safety are, finds that dead spot. Really nice play, especially when he was setting that up. And you see this with other routes. This isn't the only time that he does this. He'll run straight out. He'll do different things, but you see it repeated on run plays and then done later in the passing game, which I really, really appreciate. Shows that extra attention to detail.
His movements have a purpose. He's not just shuffling his feet. He's going somewhere to move a corner. He's really fundamentally sound. Just
real quick, I mean, do you guys think that Bateman is a little more refined as a true like wide receiver than Chase?
Yes,
I think so. Yep,
I think so too.
He's not as fluid of an athlete, but again, that doesn't always translate. I mean, that's
so it's tough to see on the first time through, but let it go to the replay here, and you'll be able to see it a lot better because he kind of gets cut off at the top of his route there. So you see fully bit inside. You see that inside foot, and then completely turns outside. Then has the concentration on the sideline. The amount of separation he got on that route. I mean, number 5 bit completely. Opened himself up for a great play, catching the ball then on the sideline.
I love the head.
I'm really excited about I'm really excited about Bateman. The more I watched, the more I was moving him up my board.
What a route!
What a route for that big of a guy to cut like that. I love the way he's flashing his head back to the quarterback too on the when he's breaking inside. Looks here.
Yeah. And the phrase that I always use is they're actors. You know what I mean? They're selling a role to these corners, and they got to believe them. You have to, play it out one way, then to beat them the other way. That's phenomenal.
Look how fundamental this is. Our college coaches preach this. Like, we used to just have drills where if the wide receivers caught the ball like in practice and like, we're just throwing routes, they had to stare at the ball after they caught it for like 5 seconds just to train your mind to do that. He does that quite often. I notice when I'm watching him.
Real quick, non-work account. I went to Malone, so that was the school that went from NAIA to Division II while I was there. And unfortunately, the program's gone now. But 2018 was their last season, and Ashton Doolin, who is signed as an undrafted free agent, went to Malone. He's playing with the Colts right now. So that was the only guy we ever had go pro, and it was the last season that Malone had a football team.
Yeah, the Nugget, he said size, refinement, athleticism, contested catchability, seems like a guy that will be in contention for wide receiver 1. I absolutely would not be surprised if Bateman's the consensus wide receiver 1 draft time next year.
Also because LSU is going to have a different coaches.
4 different linemen on the line. They got a lot of changes.
All right, go back to that last play. I didn't get to talk about it at all yet. So this was one of the ones that I was like, So look at the situation here. It's 3rd and 6. Keeps it real shallow and is even cutting back in. You got to know where those sticks are. It just showed a lack of awareness on this play to me. I wanted him to get a little bit deeper there, at least give himself a chance to fall forward for the first down. Seemed too shallow to me.
I'm not sure on that one. I mean,
you see where the tight end's going here.
Right. I think that's on the quarterback. He's getting blitzed and he just threw it hot because he's Derek Brown's right in his face. There's guys that run shallow of the marker all the time, I think. That's just me. What do you think, Jared?
Yeah, I think this play looks like it was like we used to call it Y shallow.
Yep.
Well, of course, here the Y is running more of a hook, and Bateman's on the shallow. And, I mean, if the play would have probably developed more, Bateman probably would have dragged this linebacker, or at least the object of the play would be to drag that linebacker out and hit the tight end right over here in the middle for the first down. So
maybe I'm missing it. What would be the purpose of not taking that a little bit deeper, him cutting over the top of the tight end as opposed to cutting underneath of the tight end?
So in my opinion, I'm not sorry if I'm cutting you off, Jared.
No, you're good. I'm legitimately asking the question here.
Yep.
Because to me, that doesn't make sense.
So this defender that's in front of the, I think what a tight end or whatever, Jared said, they're high-lowing him is what they're doing. And Bateman's role is to pull him a certain direction, and the throw should be the tight end, but he doesn't have time because Derek Brown's in his face.
Okay.
But if that defender stays with the tight end and they throw to Bateman, it's a clear out. Everyone else cleared out for Bateman, and then he might have time to get the first down.
Get upfield.
So it's like a hot route, Okay. That's my guess without knowing their offense in place.
So you're not going to see many guys of his size and his physicality be able to do this. Love the little bubble screen here. Gets upfield, and once again, I'm going to steal Nick's term again, but he had a plan right away, and he's able to navigate. These aren't huge moves, but steps inside, steps outside to be able to. He got that safety to bite that he was going back inside, and he cut it back out. Really, really liked that play. Really liked the yards after the catch ability that you have at a guy that's much bigger than you would see out of traditionally a guy that would be able to make a play like this happen.
That's sexy, man. I don't know how else to describe it.
that was sexy.
This is Auburn in their bowl game. It's not like he's playing against a scrub. Like,
Right.
Non-work account wants to know where would we slot him in the 2020 class. So the 2020 class for myself, I've done a lot more work on them, than Chase and Bateman. Of course, I watched a little bit of film on Bateman before to prepare for this. But these games that Garrett and Nick watched, I didn't watch. We kind of split up these games and brought the cut-ups to the stream here. So I would need to do more work on both these guys to truly like have a firm grasp on where I would slot them. But I think right now, I think they would both be top 5 for me. I'll say that. Tier 1 receivers.
Yep. I've been talking about this for a while. I actually think there is a very real chance that the 2021 class ends up being better than the 2020 class, which sounds like hypocrisy right now when we have the most ever drafted. It's through a certain amount of rounds, and we have all of these studs that we can get in our rookie drafts at 2-1, 2-2, 2-3. There's a lot of very, very, very talented prospects. We're going to watch 2 more next week that are just and Waddle and Rondell Moore that are just absolute studs.
Teaser.
So yeah, it's scary. And I tweeted this out as well. If I have a receiver on my fantasy football team that is not elite and over the age of 27, 28 years old, I'm considering selling, because the amount of talent that we had in the 19 class at the receiver, this class, and 21, a lot of those guys are going to be without jobs. So it's going to be really interesting to see how all this plays out.
Yeah, definitely. Nick, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's tough. I think between Lamb, Chase, Bateman, and Judy, you could throw in Rager just based on landing spot, but I don't think we're talking about landing spot. I think we're talking about like just as a prospect.
Yeah.
He's top 4.
Yeah.
He's top 4 for me.
Non-work account, I think he's talking about that drag, that high-low we were talking about earlier. He said that looks like a drag the Rams run. Uh-oh. You got a Rams comp here, Nick?
Oh, man.
All right, so if you're new to the stream, every week we have Nick gives a Rams comp. I don't know how it started. I think it started with Don Beebe.
Don Beebe's not a Ram, though.
Oh, damn it. That's so true. I don't know Don Beebe.
He had like 3 or 4 weeks in a row where he comped a player to a random Rams player that no one ever heard of. And that just kind of became a thing.
Honestly, he kind of gives me some Torrey Holt vibes, although he's bigger than him.
I would say he's bigger than Holt.
I was going to say Kenny Britt, maybe.
No, he's smaller.
Okay.
I think he's more refined. Britt was just an athlete. Ahead of Jefferson. Natural correction asks, yes, he's
Definitely.
well ahead of Justin Jefferson.
So Garrett, obviously this play goes to Tyler Johnson here, but
Yeah.
assume you like the release here on this play.
Maybe I gave you the wrong time because I don't remember this play.
That's a good route though.
Yeah, it's a good release.
It is, but yeah, I don't remember this play. At
I was
all,
wondering when I was cutting these, I was like, I think he probably
That's
just
kind
liked
of a
the
weird
release here. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I have no clue why that's in there.
Oh well, I think we're on the Knicks tape here. Unless this is still Garrett's, I'm not sure.
No, this is me. So to me, what I like most about this one is the corner is aligned inside. This is what made me think it was my play from before, Jared. He's aligned inside, and he continues to attack his outside to leave the space in there. Because the corner's looking at the quarterback. He's waiting. He's like, oh, wait, is this like a hitch? Is this an out? You know what I mean? And then he comes inside.
Yeah, the corner's real confused right now.
Yep. But if he would have, attacked his inside, I think, the corner would have bit and drove on that. So I think he ran a really good route here. And he takes a shot and held the whole.
He's got great hands.
I didn't see any drops. Did you guys see any drops?
I don't think so.
Games?
No, he makes some crazy touchdown catches in this one. I don't know which plays I highlighted, but he does some crazy stuff here. Oh, this is one of them. Oh, dirty. He knows where he needs to go, but he sells it inside to make the corner move inside. I mean, look at that. Look at the corner lunging inside. Oh, I'm done. And then the body control and get his feet down. It's a phenomenal play. I just love that attack right there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Last year at this time, if you would have said Lamb over Judy, people would have probably given you like the sideways eye. I feel like that's kind of the same thing with Bateman and Chase here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm falling in love as we're watching this. Like,
yo,
we won't tell your wife.
Yeah, please don't.
It's you guys like pick up on these little things here. Like, I love seeing these small things that don't have to do with like the play. Just watch him go up the hill though and keep his feet. Like how good of an athlete he is to do this. Like,
yeah,
I mean, just little things like that. I always like seeing that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
It's a John Gruden in me.
Balance.
He always says that kind of shit. That's why I said that.
Speaking of, did you watch the who's the Fox guy that makes fun of everybody? He did the schedule. He had the John Gruden.
Frank Caliendo.
Oh, Frank Caliendo. Yeah.
Win.
Oh,
win,
that was hilarious.
Buy, win.
Dude.
It's the fun. Gonna get it done, baby. It's just.
Does he get that second foot down? Nope. He's bad. He's not good.
Not an NFL catch.
Never mind. Gonna be good in the NFL.
Wide receiver 10. I'm done with him.
Oh man.
He could have if he wanted to.
Yeah.
Here's a good look at it. So I love how he has no wasted steps on that route.
Yep. And he uses his hands way better than Chase does.
Yeah. 1, 2.
Hands flat. He comes flat. He doesn't drift upfield.
Just phenomenal catch.
Mm-hmm.
Boy's got some hands.
I'm a fan.
Yep.
Rhino said, I've learned so much about these two prospects in the last 40 minutes. You guys are the best. Thanks, Rhinos. He's one of the best guys out there on Twitter. I love Rhinos.
Yeah, I love his account.
Really nice guy.
Always putting good shit on my timeline.
For sure.
This is one that I didn't like because before on this route, remember I talked about him, he stayed outside and left that room. This is one where he attacked inside and didn't, and it forced the corner to drive early, forced more of a contested reception, and he doesn't come down with this one.
Yeah.
And I know people are like, that's a drop.
It's a tough catch.
When a corner swipes at it, like to me, that's tough to define, but to me, I'm more worried about the route here. He needs to stay wider, and especially because he's in the boundary. And for people that they're not big with football, the boundary is the short side of the field versus the field. You have a lot more room to maneuver, especially down here. All your movements in area is so crucial.
Yeah, for sure. Look at that extension here. That's a tough catch.
Mm-hmm.
Tanner needs to put that on him a little more. Probably comes down with it.
The Nugget Monkeys asking if we're going to, dive into any of the smaller school guys. We will.
Oh yeah,
only
for sure, man.
Only two per week. We got 40 weeks
Too
of
much
this, man.
time.
Yeah, dude.
40 weeks of
We'll
this.
get into some freaking 2023 huddle tape if you want.
Oh, let's go. J Mike. What's up, J Mike?
What up, J Mike? Yeah, so who are some Group 5 guys that we'll watch? Like DeMonte Coxey, I like him a lot from Memphis.
Yep.
That's just one guy that comes off the top.
So the one thing that you had talked about when we were talking about prepping for this, Jared, and we haven't looked yet. Look at that. Oh, that route is just so smooth. His ability to decelerate here and be smooth on this break, I think is just full speed, boom. That reminds me of that Shadow Chosenko. If you guys saw that one the other week, someone put out some of his best routes.
I did see that. That was
It's
fun.
just phenomenal. And again, this is the boundary where it's really limited.
It's a great speed up.
But Bateman false steps, and you were going to talk about it, I think, Jared, right?
Oh yeah, I think I missed that.
Mm-hmm. But he doesn't every route. You can watch right here.
He does that. He does do that every route, and it's something that I think a lot of the Minnesota wide receivers do. Is you'll see his back foot takes a false step. See that? He's gonna want to eliminate that just because it wastes time at the line of scrimmage. He does that every time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you had anything to add to that, Nick, but
all I was going to talk about, because you had brought up just previous, that's why I talked about it, his stance. And his stance, the purpose of a stance for receiver is a couple of things. One, it is you want to be fast, come off the line of scrimmage. And the other one is you need to be ready for everything. So like right here, you can see Tyler Johnson is in the slot here. He is very up and down because he doesn't have to worry about what? Press coverage. So his chest is exposed. He doesn't really care about it. But then you look at both outside receivers, they're hunched over. They're in an area where it's harder for the corner to get at them. And that's, I think, part of why his lean is that way. But he really needs to, fix up that false step. But you get that part fixed, it's a perfect stance and start.
Mm-hmm. J. Mike said, Chase versus Bateman, where do we stand so far? Let's.
You're gonna have to go back and watch, J. Mike. We went pretty hard on this, but I don't know. At least for me, I will not speak for you two. I actually kind of like Bateman a little bit better.
I'm there too.
Right now it's Bateman.
I'm there
right
too.
Both of them.
Yep.
Watch this one. So he already has the outside, and it's a fade, right? And that's what I like about this, because some receivers would be lazy to be satisfied. He still fakes inside, makes the corner hesitate, come inside, and gives himself enough room, and then the body control to come down with this one.
And I do want to say, like, that's not a diss to Chase at all. Like, we both.
We like his tape too.
Like, we liked him a lot as far as, like, he would be tier 1 for 2020. But all three of us came to a consensus. So we like Bateman more than Chase at this point.
I'm tweeting it out, so it's official.
Oh, great. He has to be first.
Beating us to
I'm
it.
just kidding.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Why do you think I got so quiet for the last 2 minutes? Normally, you can't give me a shut up.
Price check. Bateman.
And then I said one play. I don't want to get a lot of plays against small school. This is San Diego State. But this is, I think, just a phenomenal play in terms of body control and wanting to succeed here.
Get off
He
me.
breaks the
Young
tackle,
blood.
cuts inside, and then that acceleration after being at a stop, I thought was pretty good.
That's awesome. I love this cut when I watched this one, when you sent it over, I was like, ooh.
Yeah,
And
go ahead.
with this real quick, I know I already said one nice thing, which feels like one too many. But I do really appreciate Jared taking the time to cut all these and put them together. Because, if you guys are coming in late, normally we watch full games. Jared took the time. All Nick and I did was just send him the timestamp of the clips that we wanted. Jared put all these together, put that picture in the front. I think this has made it a much more streamlined experience. I don't know what you guys think, but it helped us narrow in on the specific things that we wanted to talk about on these guys, as opposed to some of the filler. Not that we shouldn't watch full games. I think we should do that on our own time. I think that's good. But here it was much easier to get to some of the talking points.
Yeah, and let us know on Twitter. Let us know on here what you guys think of this format. If you prefer this one, if you prefer the other one, we prefer this one. But if you don't prefer it,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's something to know.
Yeah, this was kind of the feedback we received on the YouTube videos and the comments and stuff, where people like, you should pick out the plays beforehand. Little extra work for us, but I enjoyed doing it because it gave me a little, I don't know, it gave me a head start before coming on stream to watch these guys.
For sure.
And I think you guys get a lot more plays that are like worthy of discussing rather than, fast forwarding through 10 run plays in a row, so.
Real quick, Pigeon Brothers. Rashod is my good friend, went to my school. Pigeon Brothers, if you get Rashod Bateman to come on here and talk about his film with us, we will make you the official whatever you want to be of the Film Nerds. That would be pretty dope. So
and we've done that before. If
yeah,
you
we had
look,
DJ on. Josh Johnson from ULM is going to come on in a few weeks here. So yeah, that would be awesome. He's definitely a round one guy. So that would be a huge name to be able to get on here.
For sure.
Look at this guy. He said, "I got you."
Nice. Let's go.
My guy.
Yeah, man. So, Bateman over Chase, right? Like right now at this very moment, like that's not popular
we have a
to
full
say.
season.
But I also think a lot of people are just, a lot of people haven't dove in like to the film from last year yet on these guys because they weren't going to the NFL draft yet. So, yeah.
Perfect.
Pros and cons to either. The Nugget said, if you do specific cut-ups, maybe more cons. Provide a great picture.
What was
to
I
the
saying
prospect.
before we started?
Love this format.
We
though.
count on Nick to get on 80% of the cons.
See, the thing is, though, these guys are freaking good. Like these are like
there's not a ton of
top-tier
cons.
players. That's what I was saying earlier because I was like, oh, Nick will bring the cons for sure.
It's much easier when it's Chase Claypool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I thought we were
man.
pretty nitpicky with some of the stuff with these guys. Like, Chase had trouble getting off the line of scrimmage. Wasn't a great route runner. Probably needs to get better at that. At times, he kind of was a little lazy in his routes. But he's an absolute beast at the catch point and after the catch. And he's just a hell of an athlete. Super strong. You can just tell. So, ceiling's sky high for him. Bateman's probably a little more refined of a player. Better route runner. Good at using his hands. Probably has better overall, like, natural catching.
He's got a better size for their traditional X receiver, too.
Yeah. Both excellent after the catch. Both excellent at the catch point. Yeah. I mean, top 10. I don't know if they're top 10 players.
We'll see. It wouldn't shock me. I mean, they're both really, really cooked wide receivers. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up top 10. But they're definitely not getting outside of the first round. They're both locks for first round for me.
Oh yeah. Yep. After this, if people are watching this and you're in leagues with me, I'm going to be trading for Bateman. So I'm coming.
Just get ready for it.
Yep.
Pridgeon said he just texted him.
Cool.
That would be dope. I mean, show him the DJ Dallas.
I pronounced
video
his name wrong.
Hey, send us
I said Pigeon Brothers. What am I doing?
Send us a DM.
Yeah, hit us
We
up.
can talk.